Hey guys, today we are going to see an very important topic. So we can even say it is an historic reform which happened in Saudi Arabia. Many of you have came across this, and after 7 decades, nearly 7 decades, the system named Kafala system is abolished by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030 goals. So this was condemned as a very modern day slavery. So why this was suddenly abolished? So let's see what impacts this reform has. So this reform impacts more than 10 million migrant workers, including 2.5 million Indians, and the kafala system remains. And let's see where this kafala system exists. So it remains in the places of UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Lebanon, and even in Jordan in disguised forms. So they don't practice it in an open way. So it's often disguised within something. And why this kafala system was created? Because the kafala system was created for a foreign worker's legal stand. So if any migrant or foreign worker or a labor mostly goes to these oil rich countries, so these people rights were not clearly mentioned. So everything was dependent on the employer. So they can withhold their passports and even their salary, and so you can't change your jobs without your employer's consent. So there were many issues. So whatever decision you should be taking with your employer's consent. So this was the major issue, and they created this method to control the labor through the commercial sponsor, and this reduced the state bureaucracy. So in reality, was that labor control? So this wasn't a major power balance. So this led to a major power balance, and the workers has had very limited options against the employers, so that they threatened for any deportation. They withheld even the wages, and they confiscated their passports. So all these things were the major concern. Even sometimes their visa and their right to live in the nation and their freedom to change the jobs were based only on the sponsor's authority, and the wages or labors cannot take any independent decision. So this was the major reason why the system was created. And so let's see what was this kafala system was. So this was a legislative framework known as kafala, which regulated the migrant workers employment and residency in the Gulf Cooperation Council GCC member states. And when it was first established was 1950s. So in the 1950s, so all these oil rich nations wanted an labor or wages to construct their infrastructure and for some other works, but they told they'll award the citizenship or permanent residency, and they also expected an inexpensive labor to construct their cities. So under this old systems, these migrant workers or labors were tied to the employers, so they could not change any jobs, leave the country, or even without a permission they cannot seek any legal help. So see how the condition would be. And they even will withheld their passports and delay the pay which should be given to the employees. So now under this new contract based framework, workers can change the jobs freely, exit visas. No longer they don't need their employer's consent for any of the changes they have to make, and workers have direct access to the legal protection and labor codes. So you need not go and get any permission, or you need not be afraid of any of the decision you take. It's solely your decision. So you are not tied to anybody, and this is the freedom this abolishment gives to the employers abroad, especially in this oil-rich countries, which are included in the Gulf Cooperation Council. So this has been a major move in Saudi Arabia by the Crown Prince in the 2030 vision goals. So that's all for today. Thank you.